What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. Today, we are going to be talking about the truth behind manifesting multiple things at the same time, because this is hands down one of the top 5 questions that I am asked when it comes to manifestation, and what y'all are trying to sift through and sort through when it comes to truly becoming the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. Because when you feel as though you cannot manifest multiple things at the same time, or you feel as though manifesting multiple things at the same time is delaying your progress or whatever it may be, then that makes it more challenging to be the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. And y'all know, if you are here and listen to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show with me, that is simply not the vibe. And I will not allow that, because we all get to have it all, be it all, and do it all if that is what you want for yourself. So like I said, in this podcast episode, we are going to be breaking down this misconception and help you understand how you can manifest multiple things at the same time and really allow this to be a natural process. So when it comes to the concept of manifesting multiple things into your life at the same time, there's this big misconception, and I truly believe that it roots back to some of the more traditional teachings around manifestation that are outdated at this point. And not saying that they don't hold value, because they absolutely do, but as time evolves and as people have implemented these concepts into their lives and created and manifested the lives of their dreams, really looking at some of these old outdated concepts, they still create so much misconception when it comes to manifesting and creating what you want in your life. And what I mean by this is a lot of traditional manifestation resources will tell you that you must focus externally on those things that you desire to manifest into your life to make them a part of your reality. So it's focusing on, let's say you want to manifest the money, focusing then on manifesting checks in the mail, or receiving a paycheck that's larger, or receiving that bonus, or whatever it may be. It's putting all of your focus and attention externally on those things. And what happens when we do that is we give our power away to those things. And when we are then wanting to manifest multiple things at the same time, it's giving a lot of our power away to multiple things external from ourselves, as opposed to turning that finger back around and pointing it at ourselves, being okay, I actually am the power source here. So when it comes to this misconception with manifesting multiple things at the same time, I can understand why it would feel confusing or why it would feel draining to try and manifest multiple things at the same time if that is the approach and the focus that you are taking with it, is essentially pointing the finger outwards at these different things and being okay, I want the car. Okay, I want the house. Okay, I want the partner. I want the money. I want X, Y, and Z, all of these different things, and trying to balance and put equal energy and effort into all of those different things. For sure, that is super draining, super confusing, but in reality, this isn't the most effective way to manifest things into your life. And using that old model to manifest things into your life will lead you either into the position of manifesting one thing and then feeling frustrated that the other things haven't manifested, or feeling as though manifestation doesn't work because your energy is being spread too thin and going in too many different directions. It will just lead to a lot of resistance and frustration. So what I would love to encourage all of you who are listening to do instead and to focus on instead is, instead of putting all of your focus on these external things, instead of pointing the finger outwards and pointing at the different things that you want to manifest into your life and then giving your power away to those things, is focusing on becoming the person who gets to have them all and becoming the person who feels capable and safe enough to hold them. So what do I mean when I say this? What I mean when I say this is that instead of focusing your energy externally, like I've been saying, and giving your power away to all of these things that are outside of you, it's really recognizing that you are the center point of your manifestations. You are the center point of your life. You are your power source. You are the place where all things manifest and create in your life. So when you are giving so much power externally to yourself, you're really depleting yourself of all of the energy, all of the creativity, all of the force that you have inside of yourself to bring these things forth into your physical reality. And that's where the shift really has to happen, is you recognizing that you are the center point of your manifestations and doing the work inside of yourself to really understand and perceive yourself as the person who gets to have all of these things. It's really this journey of becoming the version of yourself who already has those things. So it's if you're looking at yourself as you are right now, without all of these external things, without all of the physical manifestations that you desire to have, and then thinking about that version of yourself, who you would be if you already had them, then I can imagine you can look at the different qualities and traits of what would shift, how you would feel, how you would show up on a day-to-day basis, what beliefs you would have about your life, all of these different things to understand okay, it's not about me receiving that thing. It's not about me receiving the money. It's not me about receiving the car. It's not about me receiving the house, the partner, whatever it may be. It's about who I am when I have those things. Because receiving those things, receiving any of the external things isn't magically going to make you the higher version of yourself. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions that I see with manifestation, is that we think that receiving these external things are going to make us a different person. But the reality is no, they don't. Oftentimes, they just amplify what is on the inside, especially when it comes to money. And I have multiple podcast episodes that talk about that. But it's you becoming the version of yourself who gets to have that thing before that physical manifestation is here is what actually makes the manifestation process of it become so much more effortless and natural, because you're not putting so much pressure and attachment onto this external thing and saying okay, when I have XYZ, then I will be this way. So in other words, when I see it, then I'll believe it. Because that mentality of when I see it, then I'll believe it is what holds so many of us in these old patterns of the past that aren't supportive to us, and continue to keep us in these patterns of giving our power away to things that are external from ourselves, as opposed to recognizing that, again, we are the center point of our manifestations, and that when we can put that focus and attention back in on ourselves and doing the work to release all of these limitations and beliefs that we have inside of ourselves that say that we are not capable or worthy or safe enough to have those different things, then that is where you actually start to become the embodiment of the version of yourself who already has it. And if you listen to the podcast, you know that I talk about this all the time because it is literally like the key to manifestation. You don't need anything other than this one thing, which is becoming the embodiment of your manifestations, which is essentially what I'm talking about here on this podcast episode, is that like you do not need to stress about putting all of this focus externally on these different things to manifest multiple things into your life at the same time. All you have to focus on is becoming the version of yourself who already gets to have them. So again, what happens, the shift that gets to happen, the shift that needs to happen in order for you to manifest all of the things that you want into your life, all of this abundance, all of the goods, is turning the focus from being external to being internal and getting in touch with what you feel as though you are lacking inside of yourself right now and giving that to yourself. So what do I mean by this? What I mean is that a lot of the times what we think will happen by manifesting these external things, let's use money for an example, because y'all know I love to talk about money here on the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, is that like, okay, so we think that if we receive the money, then we will be the kind of person who feels safe, secure, confident, free, and like able to live the life that they want. And the reality is that money is inherently neutral. Money is neither good nor bad, right nor wrong, positive nor negative. So that means that money will not give that experience to you. And this is something I see all of the time, and this is why I'm so passionate about talking about money and teaching people about money, is that money truly is just going to amplify what you're feeling on the inside. So it's like, if you are wanting to, again, manifest these external things, money being one of them, because you think it's going to make you feel more secure, then what actually happens a lot of the time is like you will receive that money and you'll feel even more insecure if you haven't done the inner work to eliminate the different beliefs and energetic and emotional and mental blockages that you have surrounding money, because money amplifies what's already on the inside. Same with any of these manifestations. Same with having the partner. If you think that having the partner is then going to be the thing that makes you feel more loved, if you do not know how to cultivate that love inside of yourself and give love to yourself, then having a partner is just going to amplify your insecurities and that feeling of lack of love inside of yourself. And let's say, okay, like the house, you want the house because you want to feel safe or you want to feel secure in some sort of way. Same with like the money thing is like, and then you receive it. Having the house isn't automatically going to make you feel safe and secure and feel like you're at home. You have to learn how to cultivate those things inside of yourself. So bringing it back to what I said of like learning how to get in touch with what you need in this experience here and now before those physical manifestations are here is like understanding what attachment are you putting on these external things? What emotion are you attaching to them? What meaning are you attaching to them? And then recognizing that like that is what you feel as though you are lacking inside of yourself right now, and doing the work to cultivate that experience inside of yourself. Cultivate those emotions inside of yourself. So whether it be the love, the safety, the security, the freedom, the joy, the gratitude that you think these external things are going to give you, it's learning how to cultivate them here and now without the physical manifestation being here, and truly learning how to feel whole with or without these manifestations, because that's what actually allows you to become the clear channel for it. When you do not have this like overwhelming level of like desperation and need for this physical manifestation, because that desperation, that attachment to it, that only creates more resistance, as opposed to, again, really becoming the version of yourself who already has these things. It's like, okay, you would already feel safe. You would already feel secure. You would already feel these different things. And then it is your job, it is your duty to go and cultivate those emotional states inside of yourself, to tend to your emotional needs, to give yourself what it is that you need to feel whole with or without these manifestations. Because if you can feel that with or without the manifestations, then truly that leaves you in such a clear place for you to then be able to receive those things. So to break this down, I want to give you an example and make it a little less wordy. But the example that I want to give you with this is okay, let's think about if you were wanting to manifest having a thriving business and you also want your dream car, your dream house, and your dream partner. Instead of thinking that you have to choose one of these things, is really recognizing and believing that you get to have it all. But who would you be as the version of yourself who has it all? And what you want to think about and what you want to identify to get clear on who you would be is how would you walk? How would you talk? How would you present yourself? How would you show up for life? What beliefs would you have about yourself? What beliefs would you have about money? What beliefs would you have about love and relationships? What beliefs would you have about the business? How would you then take those beliefs and turn them into actions and behaviors? What habits would you have? How would you spend your mornings? How would you spend your work days? How would you have conversations with other people? How different would you show up in your life day to day if you already had these manifestations? Because that is how you start to become the embodiment of them, is identifying these different habits, these different behaviors, these different beliefs and emotions and thoughts that you would be having in your day-to-day experience and starting to have them now. Start to show up as that version of yourself now, because what that does is it takes you out of the vibrational plane field that you've been living in, the energy that you have been emitting out into the universe based off of what you have been operating in on a day-to-day basis, and really starts to put you into energetic alignment with that version of yourself who already has them. And this is truly when you hear about becoming the vibrational match in the world of manifestation, this is what allows you to become the vibrational match, is you doing the work, you clearing out the beliefs around what you are capable of, what you are worthy of, what you are safe to have, X, Y, and Z, so that you can truly show up in these emotions, behaviors, habits, thoughts, beliefs, etc., and truly feel like that version of yourself who has the manifestations before those manifestations are here. And circling back one more time to becoming the person who feels whole with or without these manifestations, I really want to hit home on this because this is truly one of the most important things when it comes to manifestation, and is going to make manifestation so much more effortless for you, is recognizing that again, oftentimes we think that if we manifest something, it will make us feel some kind of way. So example again, if you manifest the money, you will feel secure. If you manifest the partner, you will feel loved. But what this does is it projects the energy of lack into the universe, and then by the universal law of attraction, you will have vibrational things return into your life to confirm that lack. So instead of being in this position of putting that attachment and projecting that onto these external things, the goal is really to understand that there is nothing external from you that will make you feel anything. all of those things external from you are inherently neutral. They do not carry the meaning of love, security, safety, happiness, freedom, etc. They only hold those things if you are projecting that onto them. And when you can instead recognize that you are the source of everything in your life, then that is where you start to take your power back from these external things and can give yourself the opportunity to feel abundant with or without them, to tend to your emotional needs, to create that internal safety, to create that security, to create that gratitude, to create that energy of wealth and abundance and happiness inside of yourself here and now, because that's going to allow you to tend to your emotional needs and not continue this projection of lack and therefore getting more things to confirm that lack in your life because of the law of attraction. And this is what will put you into alignment with manifesting all of the things that you desire in your life. So again, what I am really trying to get at here is the fact that you are the center point of your manifestations. So instead of projecting so much energy outwards, you want to take that energy back and focus it inwards, because that is where you will actually become magnetic to your manifestations. So there you have it. Yes, you can manifest literally all the things that you want at the same time. It's not a matter of looking externally from yourself and trying to focus on all of these different things and manifesting them into your life. It's about pointing that finger back around at yourself, recognizing that you are the center point of your manifestations. And because you are the center point of your manifestations, the most important thing that you can do is tend to what you need inside of yourself right now to make yourself feel whole. Because through feeling whole, that is going to put you into alignment with manifesting all of the things that you desire. And that is how the universe is going to start to conspire in your favor to line up the perfect opportunities, people, experiences, things, whatnot, to open the doors to these manifestations to allow you to then receive them in the way that is best going to fit and serve your life. So this is what I see play out in my life all the time. I literally never focus on the external things. It's never about like, okay, let me pick externally what I want from myself and go manifest that thing. It's like, yes, absolutely. Like I know what I want for my external reality, but instead of putting all of my focus and attention onto those things, once I identify those things that I want, then I focus on my internal world, my belief systems, my emotions, my behaviors, and get into the place of like, okay, if I was the version of myself who already had this thing. So like, for example, this apartment that I just manifested in New York City, it's like, instead of being like, okay, like what is the exact apartment that I want? Like what are the exact features, X, Y, and Z? Like I was already clear. I wanted a place with floor to ceiling windows. I wanted something that was high up, that had a view, that had great light, all of the different things. But it was like, instead of putting all of my focus and attention into that, because there's no point in doing that, that's just giving my energy away, I really focused on like, okay, if I was already the version of myself who had that dream apartment, who had the beautiful floor to ceiling windows, XYZ, all of the different things that I just said, like who would I be? What beliefs would I have? What behaviors would I have? How would I feel about it? And got clear on that so that if there was any unmet emotional needs or any beliefs that were standing in my way of having an apartment like this, then I could deal with those different things, as opposed to, again, just projecting all of the energy outwards and saying like, I need this apartment so that I can feel this way inside of myself. It's like, no, feel that way inside of yourself now, have those emotions, have those beliefs, have those behaviors, have those actions, those habits, and that is what is going to make you the vibrational match for it. So there you have it. This is how you manifest multiple things at the same time. And if this episode resonated with you, if it helped you in any sort of way, please, please, please share the love by leaving a review for the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I legit only learned in like the past month or two that you can leave ratings on Spotify. So for all of my Spotify listeners out there, and honestly for anybody who listens on Apple Podcasts but also has Spotify, please go over to the podcast, leave a star rating for the podcast on Spotify. This will help us reach more people. And same with Apple Podcasts. The more that y'all are willing to leave those reviews and share your insights and wisdoms that you've gained from the podcast in those reviews, the more that we're able to reach more people. And like simply, that's just what I'm here to do. I'm here to share this message, help all of you create your best, most abundant lives. And this is how you can help me with doing that. So yeah, thank you for being here. As always, I just fucking love the podcast so much. It's literally like my favorite thing ever. And all of you who have become a part of my world and a part of my community through listening to the podcast literally just like make my life so abundant. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the show. I love y'all so much, and I'll chat with you on the next episode. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I'm so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.